Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're unpacking what might honestly be the most turbulent and revealing week in Meta's history. In just a matter of days, we've watched this tech giant straddle cutting-edge AI breakthroughs, some highly controversial privacy shifts, and just pure, unfiltered chaos on Wall Street. So if your feed has been totally flooded with new AI models, privacy panics, and billion-dollar stock swings, well, you're in the exact right place. Let's tie it all together. Here's our quick roadmap for today. 1. Meta's new AI superintelligence. 2. Your photos, Meta's AI. 3. Wall Street's AI roller coaster. And 4. The trillion-dollar question.
All right, kicking things off with part 1. Meta's new AI superintelligence and the introduction of Muse Spark 1.1.
So this week, Meta officially launched Muse Spark 1.1. This is a massive core piece of their mission to deliver what they are calling personal superintelligence. And to really grasp why this matters, we have to look at its primary focus, which is agentic tasks. We're not just talking about generating a funny poem here. We're talking about really complex, multi-step assignments where the AI acts autonomously. It can write code, debug that code, trigger external software tools, and process text and video with barely any human intervention. It's quite literally built for agency.
And this brilliantly illustrates how Meta is choosing to just completely disrupt the market right now. $1.25. That is the rock-bottom price for Muse Spark 1.1 per million input tokens. To put that into perspective for a second, this aggressively undercuts OpenAI's entry-level GPT-5 Mini and even Anthropic's low-cost Claude Haiku 4.5. Meta is essentially commoditizing this level of AI performance, making it almost absurdly cheap for people to integrate.
You can imagine, the reaction over on the Reddit Singularity subreddit was instantaneous. On one hand, you've got massive hype over the sheer cost-effectiveness. I mean, developers are thrilled they can build without breaking the bank. But, this community moves incredibly fast. Even while celebrating, users are already anticipating the rapid countermoves, things like GPT 5.6. And, crucially, there's a really healthy dose of skepticism in there too. Despite these massive jumps in coding benchmarks, a lot of folks are rightfully asking, is this model truly intelligent, or is it just benchmaxing, overly optimized to pass tests rather than survive messy, real-world applications?
Moving right along to part 2. Your photos, Meta's AI, and how Muse Image uses your Instagram. So, while developers are scoring these dirt-cheap tokens, everyday users are kind of finding themselves at the bottom of the AI supply chain. Meta just rolled out Muse Image, which is a tool designed to blend photos into high-quality AI creations. But here's the catch, it opts you in by default to use your public Instagram posts and Reels as training data. And this really mirrors recent highly controversial moves by Google, who quietly updated their search history to save media for AI training as well. It's become a massive, industry-wide trend where tech giants are quietly making your personal data the default fuel for their AI ambitions. Now, because this is all opt-in by default, protecting your personal data means navigating a bit of a digital maze. So here is exactly how you turn it off. Open your Instagram profile, tap the menu, and dive into Settings and Activity. From there, look for Sharing and Reuse. You're going to have to scroll all the way down until you find a section titled Allow People to Create with and Reuse Your Content. Finally, you have to manually toggle off the switches for both posts and Reels.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Jumping through all those hoops, that only stops future scraping. It is not retroactive. Meta's official documentation is crystal clear on this. Any AI content that's already been generated by others using your media will not be deleted, even if you lock down your account today. Basically, once the AI remixes your image, the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Shifting gears to part 3, Wall Street's AI roller coaster and the $125 billion whiplash.
Let's zoom out and see how this builds into the macro level. We've looked at the tech, we've looked at the privacy, now let's look at the money, because Wall Street completely lost its mind this week. Just look at this totally chaotic 36-hour window. On Wednesday, Meta's stock popped 9% on Bloomberg reports that they were building out a cloud business, planning to sell excess AI compute to become a major hyperscaler. The market absolutely cheered for this. But then, by Thursday, a violent 5% drop, effectively erasing those gains, all because of a single internal comment from the CEO.
Yep, that drop was triggered by an internal admission from Mark Zuckerberg, who reportedly told staff the progress on Meta's core AI agents has been, quote, slower than expected. Now, even for a CEO who's pretty well known for harsh internal critiques, hearing that the core AI products are behind schedule completely shattered the market's optimism from the day before. It created this absolutely fascinating real-time tension between the massive infrastructure hype and actual on-the-ground product reality. And the reason Wall Street gets so incredibly twitchy when they hear a phrase like slower than expected comes down to this massive number right here, $125 billion. Meta has warned investors they plan to spend between $125 and $145 billion in 2026 alone strictly on AI infrastructure. When a company is spending massive figures every quarter chasing a dream, the absolute slightest hint of a delayed timeline just terrifies the market.
Which brings us to part 4, the trillion-dollar question, the bull versus the bear case.
This whole whiplash situation perfectly captures the psychological tug-of-war happening right now on retail forums like R Stocks. You have two totally different realities fighting it out here. The bulls argue that Meta's cloud pivot is a brilliant way to monetize all that hardware. They point to that massive cash cow Instagram base and staggering 33% revenue growth. They're saying the fundamentals are incredibly strong. But the bears are screaming warning signs. They see a bottomless $125 billion spending pit with zero clear path to a return on investment. They argue Meta has basically already lost the foundation model race, and they're pointing straight to Zuckerberg's own words as proof that the tech is stumbling.
Which leaves us with this final looming thought to wrap up today. We are seeing incredible new tools being released for pennies, and we are seeing user data scraped by default to build them. But when you look at the sheer billions being burned on data centers right now, when the initial venture capital and the tech hype finally settles down, who is actually going to pay the bill for all this infrastructure? It is a massive question that Meta, Wall Street, and really the entire industry are going to have to answer very soon. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.